Good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to the first ever Comedy at the Cafe here at Cafe Aqueduct in Palmyra. Thank you. Very good. First, we would like to thank our owner and host, Jesse Sparrow, who's busy back in the back cooking, and he did want me to mention to you that he's going to be cooking until 7:30. So please place your orders now so that you have food throughout the show, and then for the rest of the night, please. Lots of coffee, lots of snacks and things, and make sure you tip your baristas, Hannah and Abby. They're doing a great job. And Abby is in particular very important to us because several of us came in and just happened to tell some of our worst jokes. And Abby laughs at everything. So she's going to be great to have here. So that's exactly. So that's the first thing I did want to mention. Second thing that I wanted to let everybody know is that we have just one disappointment tonight. Ralph Tedda, our headliner for the night, is unfortunately under the weather, and he's not going to be able to be here to perform, but we still have 10 great comics, and then me, but they're all here to perform for you tonight. And everybody's going to just do about 7 minutes or so, 7 to 8 minutes, and then here's what we're going to do at the end of the night. During the show, we're going to pass this around. And because there's no cover charge here tonight, we'd like you to maybe throw in a buck or two, whatever you'd like. And at the end of the night, myself, Abby, because she laughs at everything, and a random person from the audience are going to choose one, maybe two of the comics that they like the most, depending on how much we collect. And we're going to give a little award to those comics tonight. So I'll start this right over here. You can pass it around as you would like. The next thing that I always wanted to talk about is the rules as far as what people are going to say and what people can't say. We always say that, in the comic business, what you say, you own. So when I said to, several of the comics came to me and said, this is a new market out here, a new environment, we should probably have a completely clean show. And therefore they came to me and they asked for my statement and what I should say about that. And as far as that, I say, fuck that shit, let's have some fun tonight. All right? Now, for some of these comics, it's their first time performing out here in the 315. So I told them the only thing they got to remember for you guys is just talk slower, right? Thank you very much. It's not my first time performing in the 315. I actually performed on New Year's Eve at the Palmyra Moose Lodge. Anybody been out to the Moose Lodge? Nobody's been to the Moose Lodge. Great place, great audience. There were some really hot women out there. I was hoping I was going to pick up some caribou. Any of you guys married out here? Any married? Are you also brother and sister? No? Okay. Just making sure. Let me start tonight to introduce myself. My name is Ythan Lax. And for those of you who saw my name on the posters that were here, you saw that odd spelling, Ythan, Y-T-H-A-N. You must have wondered, Ythan, what could that be? And where did that name come from? Well, I'm named in the Jewish religion. It is customary to name after deceased relatives, and I'm named after my grandmother, Yetta. And my parents needed a name that began with Y, man's name. Quick, you got 3 seconds. Man's name that begins with Y. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you very much. They could have named me Yancey, but I'm not from Kentucky and all my teeth, so that one wouldn't work, right? They also could have gone with the French Yves, as in Yves Saint Laurent. The boy named Yves gets beat up a lot in high school, I'm sure, so that wasn't going to have to be it. The last name has gotten me in more trouble than anything. LAX. Anybody know the 3-letter code for Los Angeles Airport? LAX. I have never been there, but 17 pieces of my luggage have been rotating around the country. Years and years, nobody's picking them up. The airlines, they really annoy me. I don't even put my name on my luggage anymore. I went up to the counter last week with 3 bags, and I said, I'd like you to check this one to Pittsburgh, this one to San Francisco, and this one to Miami. And they said, I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. I said, why not? You did it last week. But the best thing about my last name is I am getting the last laugh now because I've been divorced for a while, which makes my former wife an ex-lax. And I mentioned earlier, I am one of your Jewish comics, and usually when I come out, especially this far, I am the token and only Jewish comic. But amazingly, of the comics that we have here tonight, there are 2.5 of us that are Jewish. I'm fully Jewish, there's somebody else who's fully Jewish, and Kevin Markman is half Jewish, and since his nose looks pretty normal, I'm guessing it's the lower half that's Jewish. All right. As far as, being Jewish out here, I think we just doubled the Jewish population of Wayne County, haven't we? For being 2.5, that's probably about right. I have a friend who's trying to convert to Judaism, and he's worried about the part you would expect him to be worried about. He wants to know if this circumcision hurts. When I told him after I had mine done, I didn't walk for a whole year. Jewish men are the most confident men in the world. We cut off a piece before we have any idea how big it's going to get. But the other thing that the Jews have the market cornered on is guilt. Guilt within families. Any Catholics here? You think you know guilt? Yeah, you don't know guilt. No. Catholic guilt is learned at a very, very young age. Jewish guilt is issued at birth. It starts the very first time your mother holds you, makes you look down to, well, you look at what you just did to your mother. So it never goes well. And it doesn't stop. My mother is 94 years old. She's in a nursing home. And when I go there, she says, you don't visit me enough. I said, you know why you don't visit? You're busy gambling, drinking, and womanizing. I said, that's ridiculous. I do not gamble. So I mentioned I've been divorced for a while. And anybody divorced out here? Divorced? You're married and divorced. And are you still brothers? I don't even know how that works. When you go through a divorce, if any of you have been through it, it is a pain in the ass. Starting with who's going to get the house. And my lawyer told me that whoever leaves the house is basically saying you're not making a claim to it, you can be charged with abandoning the house. So neither of us left. And here I am living with a woman I can't stand. So I went to my lawyer and I said, maybe I should go home and be as obnoxious as I can, so ridiculous and off the wall that she will leave. And my lawyer said, no, just go home and be your complete normal self, and that will work just fine. The other thing about divorce is dividing your property. Even the board games were a hassle. So I came up with an idea. I said, let's play all the board games, and whoever wins gets to keep the board game. Now, since she thought that the first man to walk on the moon was Louis Armstrong, I won Trivial Pursuit. I was mine like this. The other thing is, I was married to a Jewish woman, and I think, if there's such a thing as being prejudiced against your own kind, I don't do well with Jewish women. I really don't. I've dated a couple. They're not the most sexual in the world. I was married for years, and she never gave me a blowjob. Would you read it? Isn't that sad? Do you know that marrying somebody that won't give you a blowjob is like hiring a plumber that doesn't fix toilets? You know what kind of women I do like? I like Asian women. You know why? Because they're all that and dim sum. Oh, well, okay, I guess the puns aren't going to go over well tonight, all right? You know what? Winter's coming up. Everybody's worried about COVID again. It's coming around. Everybody's worried about it one more time, and now they got a great booster shot out. This booster, they say, is going to take care of everything, all the variants, everything, but because it's juiced up to be a heavier booster shot, there are some side effects they want people to worry about. The usual ones. You got your cough, your headache, your fever, your children born with the head of a golden retriever. Nothing too serious. But these are things that work. COVID joke for you. Stop me if you've heard it before. Man walks into a nursing home. The end. The end. That's about it. Last thing I want to tell you about is that I think that the people who are treating COVID with all sorts of different, random homeopathics and so on, there's one thing that I think we've determined in society cures just about anything, and that, of course, is marijuana. It'll probably cure COVID too, won't it? It cures everything else, and now it's legal. It's legal, right? It's here. Yeah, woo! It's legal out here. So, before I tell you just a few pot jokes to close out my set, I want to warn everybody that pot jokes can often be gateway comedy leading to harder humor. So be very careful about that. Jesse, I got an idea for you. I think, edibles are the big thing. I think we should possibly offer some edible food that is going to get you off here at the Cafe Aqueduct. What do you think? Good idea? All right. For example, first thing you'll see when you walked in are the baked goods, and that's the staff. All right. Next, okay, we can do some international fare. You've got your veal parmigiana, Wiener Schnitzel, lots of pot pies, anytime you want. Corned beef hashish is a good one. For dessert, chocolate chip cookie dope ice cream. And the best drink is the soft drink that they came out with. It packs the power of 8 joints. They named it Blitz, but I got a better name for it. Mountain Doobie. Everybody, thank you very much, and I'm going to bring up our first comic of the night. Our first comic of the night is somebody that I go back with to the very first night that I ever performed on stage. It was at Rochester's funniest comic contest, and it was his first ever night performing too. And in 10 years, we've worked ourselves all the way up to moving up to Palmyra. Greg Owens can be seen all over town. He performs all over the Northeast. He's available for corporate and private gigs as well. You can find him at GregOwensComedy.com. Ladies and gentlemen, big Cafe Aqueduct, welcome to Greg Owens.